Yo, it's me, Tony. Hi, come inside of me. We're doing it. It's Free Ball Friday, which means I get to talk about whatever I want. I guess I could do that any day because it is my podcast, but I'm trying to have some level of consistency. I feel that 3 podcasts a week is kind of bonker pants, but at the same time, it means that we can be best friends because we'll be connecting a lot and we'll really be getting to know each other on a deep, deep, deep soul and spiritual level, which I think is what needs to be happening right now. Intimacy. Intimacy beyond superficial but actually really getting to know a person. And I guess you're getting to know me. It's still slightly one-sided, but we do the advice stuff. That's where I get to know you. And then also, I do think it would be fun to have people come on every once in a while on a Free Ball Friday. So today I wanted to talk about an interaction I had with a stranger on the internet. But I thought it was really interesting in the sense of how we can have conversations with people that aren't rooted in I agree with you. Oh, I agree with you. The echo chamber that we're always referencing, and the way in which we can really just surround ourselves with people who parrot back our own ideas. And there is so much danger in that, mostly because it's incredibly dehumanizing. It's dehumanizing to the self because you're not challenging your cognition and something that's going to actually help you to grow from a not only intellectual but also an emotional level is having circumstances or opportunities for you as a thinker to think deeper. And the way you think deeper is through being challenged. It's not through people just being like, yes, yes, which I love. I love someone who just tells me they agree with me and I'm correct because I love to be right. It is a toxic trait of mine, but I think I am right quite a bit. I'm always right about other people's lives. About my own life, not so much. I make a lot of mistakes. I just have really complicated taste in people. I think that's something that happens to me quite a bit is I attract people who are a little, because they're interesting. Interesting people are often quite flawed. And I should I should have gotten the memo by now, but I'm like, you seem complex. And they are complex, but often complexity comes with a certain amount of okay, we have to put up with this as well. And then I get kind of really ditched a lot, I've had some really bad relationship karma, I gotta say. All right, but I think it's actually over. Well, I'll talk about, you should ask me about your relationship in the Ask Me Anything Monday because I have great advice about other people's relationships. It is interesting how we can be just really tuned in to others and yet so blind about the self. I think the problem is that I had a friend who died, and then it's just really hard for me to let go of people because of that. It's just, I don't know. Maybe some days I should just have a day where I completely psychoanalyze myself. That would be actually a vibe. I could do that today, but no, I have another plan today. So remind me, psychoanalyze yourself in a way that's interesting, because I feel like that would be something I could do. But I also wrote a book. You should read my book. I haven't published it, but I wrote it. Do you want to read it? Should I self-publish a book? Someone answer me this question, because am I supposed to go to a publishing company and be like, do you want to publish my book? That is what I want. But this one guy who I emailed about publishing my book, truly, he has a big company, so maybe that's part of the problem. He'll be like, yeah, I'm interested, kids, send it to this person. And I'll send it to that person and never hear back. And then just email him again 6 months later, and he'd be like, oh yeah, kid, Yeah, send me your book proposal. This has been happening for truly 5 years, longer, 7 years. I've emailed this guy 45 times. Should I email him again? Or do you know someone who wants to publish my book? It's good. I worked on it for 10 years. Do you want to read it? It's about me. It's about me going to a meditation center, but it's really like a memoir of me life. A memoir of me life. But it's funny and it's deep and it's emotional. Whatever. I worked on it really hard. I truly rewrote it like 50 times until I could be actually honest. Because I think it's actually really hard to be honest in a memoir. And when you're reading a memoir, you can tell when someone's hiding something, the little sneaky sneakaroo. And you're like, that's not how you really feel. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I see in between the lines. But, you have to be able to reveal yourself fully and also be able to talk about other people with like a deep, deep compassion. Okay, but this is what I wanted to talk about today is this interaction I had with this guy on the internet. So it started with me posting a story, and on that story, it was a guy, and he was like a younger guy, kind of like a good-looking younger guy, and he was talking about sex tourism in Thailand. And he was kind of showing these images of these guys, these like older men that were traveling to Thailand to participate in the sex tourism industry. And he was basically like, these women don't want to be fucking you. They want to be with their families, but because of like economic desperation and this being a part of their tourism, these women are fucking these guys, and it's a problem. And he was kind of like showing these images of these like young women with these older men, and he ended the video saying, "Do better, men." And I liked that. I liked that he was calling out men and he was like talking to men. That felt important to me. Men talking to other men about behaviors around grape culture ultimately, because it's like tourism is really about grape culture, because you have desperate situations because of an economic situation within Thailand that is often because of American imperialism, right? It's like if you think about American imperialism going into all these different countries, having influence on different economies and trade and politics. And so I don't exactly know the history between the United States and Thailand, but I'm sure it's corrupt. That I'm pretty clear about. Wasn't White Lotus filmed in Thailand? Wait, yes, it was. Yeah, no, I mean, the level of corruption that the United States has been involved with from an economic standpoint in Thailand is worth investigating. So let's give ourselves the homework to do that. So, long story long, is that you have this situation where the United States and this empire building creates this like economic catastrophe within a country, and then more people are going to be subjected to having to fold themselves into the current capitalist paradigm of selling what you can, which is oftentimes our bodies. Our bodies are the commodity, it's like our bodies with manual labor, our bodies with being a soldier, our bodies with being a sex worker. It's like when you feel as if your body is the one thing you have to commodify versus your brain. Commodifying your brain is obviously inside of the body, but there is a different texture to being like an engineer or something where you're using the brain that's inside your body versus being a sex worker. These are different. But you can't be a sex worker and not be using your brain or shutting off your brain. I'm not sure what I think anymore, and maybe am I putting a stank on being a sex worker in Thailand? I don't know. I've never been a sex worker in Thailand. Maybe it's actually a lot better than being an engineer. I don't know. I've never been an engineer. Anyway, this guy made this video, and I thought it was interesting that he was talking to men. And these are all complicated conversations. I'm not saying I have all the answers. I definitely don't, even though I like to think I do. I 100% do. Okay, so what happened is that this guy messaged me, and he was like, I didn't write down the first message, but he was like, "This is bullshit" or something. to that story. And I was like, huh? I was like, do you really not understand what this guy is trying to say? Like, that's what I asked. I actually engaged him. I asked him a question and I said, do you really not understand this guy's point? And then this guy writes to me, it just feels like race baiting, like only old white men use women. Women do sex tourism when they go to Jamaica and sleep with the swim instructor. I don't know about that, but okay. Well, no, actually, valid point. I have PTSD and schizophrenia and I'm poor. I know the only way I can get a woman is if I pay for it. And I don't think I'm a bad person because of it. I've made peace with it. Plus, this video shows no proof these guys are human traffickers or real criminals. Old men deserve love too. Plus, he's recording them without their consent, and that's really hypocritical from the consent matters crowd. Just because they are sitting with these women doesn't mean they are pimps. It could be a friend or someone they met in a legit way. He's making a lot of assumptions to get clicks, in my humble opinion. Okay, like, to be honest, I really appreciated this guy's response. He was opening up to me. He was telling me about his life. He also pointed out some contradictions. I mean, I do think women going to Jamaica to sleep with swim instructors, is that sex tourism in the same way? It's an interesting point. Obviously, within a patriarchy, there is going to be complexity around male exploitation of women versus female exploitation of men, because we live in a patriarchy. But that does not mean that females can't exploit men. So I think that was actually a really decent point that he made. And also, I appreciated that he was sharing himself with me and his own experience with sex workers. He wasn't just arguing me. You get what I'm saying? It's like, this is a guy who opened up and was disagreeing, but he opened up, and I appreciated that. So then I responded, okay, I get those points for sure, but I also get his, meaning the guy who wrote the video, the guy who posted the video. And men holding men accountable feels important. But yeah, it's not just one thing. I blame the system of capitalism more than the people. That's what I wrote. I think he put more thought into his response than I did, but like, to be fair and to brag, I do have a lot of messages in my Instagram. So like, I don't have the same amount of time to be answering messages within that context, because there's just like, I'm trying to get through messages. Okay. So maybe that's a rude thing for me to say, but I'm just acknowledging the fact that I felt like this guy put more effort into his message to me than I did. But what did I do? I validated his opinions. I said I get those points, but I maintained my own sense of self, because I did still understand the guy who made the video's point. But I was beginning to see what this guy was referencing also, which is, look, this was a good-looking guy who made the video. He could crush puss. He could be dripping in puss for all I know. So for a good-looking guy to be like, you fucking perverts using sex tourism, yeah, I think it was a little triggering for this other man to see that, because it's like, you don't know what it's like. It's like, when like a really beautiful woman is like, I don't wear makeup. It's like, okay, well, you're also stunningly hot. Or like, I eat whatever I want. I'm naturally skinny. It's like, okay, cool. But like, some people don't have the status quo body type or the status quo face, and then they're going to feel extra pressure to fit into a system of conformity. So I did respect the fact that I feel as if this like guy was also, even though this was not said, he wasn't referencing this, he was also triggered by the fact this was a hot young guy shaming older, less attractive men. Okay, so then he responded, oh wait, sorry. I also like your stuff, by the way. I love a compliment. I'm 36, pretty much a virgin, so I get lonely a lot, and sometimes I pay escorts for things because real women usually shut me down, and I've just gotten used to it. I wouldn't fly to another country though, but I do understand some men just won't be able to get a woman, especially if you're disabled, and sex work should be regulated for that reason, among others. I mean, I kind of want to cry. I genuinely, like, I'm not a big crier, but at this now moment, I do feel like crying a little bit because, again, this conversation, it started a little contentious. I wish I like told you the first thing he said. I just didn't take a screenshot of it, but it started off contentious. I asked him a question, then he opened up. I validated him opening up, and now he's like being really thoughtful, you know? I think he's being really thoughtful, and he's also showing me that, like, hey, it is not easy to be craving intimacy, to wanting intimacy, and to continually get rejected. And I know there is this like paradigm of people like being like to men, well, if you weren't such a piece of shit, women would want to be around you more. And that is real. I'm not like denying that that's not real, and that like men have got to have like a major reckoning of the soul in terms of how they treat women within a patriarchal system. I mean, there is so much objectifying of women. We know this. But I think that this guy is also pointing on something very real, which is that like he has disabilities, he's a bigger dude, he's not like a conventional like Ryan Gosling, and he gets rejected a lot, and it's like messed with his like sense of self and his self-esteem. I think we understand that this happens. We understand when women feel rejected by the male gaze, we're not like, you're a piece of shit, you bitch. We're like, yeah, I get it. And then we give them tools, like, or whatever, oppressive tools in certain senses. But we're like, here's the makeup and the this and the that. So I don't know. I think there was something about the way he said, sex work should be regulated for that reason, among others. It's not like he's like completely unconcerned with the humanity of these women. I did not get that. Okay. I did not get the sense that he was like unconcerned. And I wrote, yes, I agree. Sex work is not the problem, and it is very healing and can be done in so many ways that is beneficial and genuinely good for society. But also, capitalism is at the root of so much of this loneliness and confusion between the sexes. So it all goes hand in hand. And what else did I say? Oh, I don't have it all, but I said that, oh yeah, I am going to wake up in a timeline where he gets a dope ass bitch. That's what I said. Because I mean, I didn't like screenshot these correctly, but I said I was going to wake up in a timeline where he found the woman of his dreams. Because I felt like energetically, this guy wasn't like demeaning me or women. He was just like a bit in a tunnel of his own perspective and perception, but he wasn't not open to my experience and my feedback, you know? So I vibrationally, I just like thought this guy was a vibe, and I really do want him to find love, like genuinely. And then he wrote back to me, I wish, LOL. On a light note, though, I gave a stripper some $6 mini roses from Trader Joe's, and she was so happy to get them and gave me a hug and a good dance, so that felt nice. I hope you come to Raleigh, North Carolina soon so I can see you perform. I wanted to see you in Asheville, but that was too far from me. Your political takes are very interesting. So this whole thing really turned around for me. Something like an off the collar comment of something being like, oh, this is fucking dumb, turned into this like meaningful exchange. And the reason why I say it's meaningful is because I feel like we both got a deeper understanding of each other. And the reason why I wanted to read this exchange and share this exchange is because I do believe that when we have patience with each other and curiosity with each other and validate each other's feelings, like that is the structure of genuine conversation, philosophical dialogue, reconciliation, healing. Like this is a vibe we need to be bringing to relationships, either casual relationships or intimate relationships, because I think we're in a crisis of how to really connect and bond and be in communion with one another. So I'm not saying everything about this exchange was perfect from either of our ends. I think I was like more thoughtful in my second exchange because I really was beginning to like feel for this guy in a deep way, you know, and I was appreciating his own reflection. And I think that's what we need to ask of each other is, are you self-reflecting? Are you? Are you spending the time to genuinely understand your impact on others? I mean, I think the fact that he was like, talking about this story about getting this girl flowers, it's all about the humanizing, right? It's like he's not just objectifying a stripper. And I don't even think he was coming at it from this naive sense of like, oh, this stripper likes me. No, he was saying that like I gave her a gesture and then she responded to my gesture and there was a human connection through this like gesture of kindness that we did for one another. And yes, capitalism is part of so many exchanges that we have. And that is something that we have to be honest with ourselves about, the exchange of capitalism and how it impacts and infiltrates and really poisons so much of how we are in relation to one another. But even within the context of capitalism, there is still our root humanity, our root gesture, our root ability to still like break through the molding of it and rebuild something that is ultimately like from a place of recognition. The namaste, the light in me sees the light in you. I mean, I know like from like a whitey perspective and all the whitey whites saying namaste, it can be like obnoxious because it seems postmodern, like without context. But the history of the word namaste, the etymology of it, the light in me recognizes the light in you. What is that referencing? It's referencing the holy. It's referencing the spiritual. It's referencing the fact that like oh my goodness. Think about the fact that we say hello. Hello? What the fuck? Have you ever noticed that? I mean, am I like late to the game? We always talk about how words are spelling, but hello? Why are we evoking hell when you have all this nice namaste we could be saying? I mean, it does, if all the whiteys went around saying namaste, it does feel like, I don't know, is it cultural appropriation or is it cultural celebration? I guess that's to be discussed on another pod. But long story very long is hello, that's getting to me. Oh, this idea of recognizing that we are beings of light, that we are, like truly cosmic creatures. And when we treat each other with that level of respect and that level of reverence, like that is the future. You want to know the revolution? It's treating people like they're holy. You can't go around murdering children if you understand that they're holy, right? You can't go around grapo if you understand that that person is holy. You can't go around sex trafficking if you understand people are holy. I mean, our spiritual craving is so deep. It is so profoundly deep, and it's why we've been so profoundly and deeply manipulated with religion and with these spiritually driven control mechanisms, because our craving is boundless almost, the spiritual craving. All right. I feel like this was a vibe. Let me know what you think of the podcast. I'm genuinely curious. Are you liking it? Are you vibing with it? Is 3 times a week too much? Is it great? Have you sent your questions in? What did you think about my Wednesday political rant? How are you enjoying Freeball Friday? Do you want to be on the pod? Do you have suggestions for a topic? Do you want to join my Patreon? Oh, wait a second. Okay, I'm going to tell you some things about myself before I go. I have a Patreon. Look, I don't take money from the internet videos I do, because what am I going to do? Have an anti-capitalist platform and then be like, oh, have you bought this from Temu yet? Humiliating. I cannot do it. So do you want to support my work and be a part of my Patreon? Like, yeah, I think that would be dope. It's on my website, tonynaj.com. Also, I do cameos. If you want to send me a request, I'll send you a video and you send it to yourself or to someone. I love a cameo. Also, I do one-on-one sessions. I do one-on-one somatic sessions where we could work on your body and something that's going on with your body. I just worked with this woman who had like a really severe car accident, and I think we did some really great stuff. We could do creative coaching where I do a session with you around your creativity. I am here for you on one-on-one sessions. You can book a session also on my website, tonynaj.com. And guess what, yo? I built the Come Inside of Me website all by myself. I am not going to say it's the best website or it's like finished, but I didn't finish on you, but I built it. I just like built a website yesterday and then I had nightmares about it all night, wondering if I had the right color scheme. But comeinsideofme.com is officially mine and it will take you into the portal. That is me. So, all right, do those things. I mean, I guess I could have talked about this in the beginning of the episode, but it's like, I feel like people fast forward that. And maybe you will just like, maybe you would have fast forwarded this too. Maybe next time what I'll do is I'll promise a secret at the end. And then people will have to listen to me promote myself because it's so humiliating. Okay, I love you. Bye.